Hi everyone, welcome to this week's reading. This is for April 1st through to the 7th, and this week I've got 3 different piles there. So if you want to have a look at the crystals and see which pile of cards you're drawn to for your personal messages, which I will get to after I talk about the astrology. But the first one is a beautiful blue calcite, which is a very calming stone. The second one is stunning citrine. Love that citrine. Citrine attracts abundance, and it's very good for positive energy, positive thoughts, positive thinking. Blue goldstone. I love blue goldstone. Look at that. So pretty. It's like the stars in the night sky. Blue goldstone helps you with confidence, feeling self-confident, business success, success in your work and career, and life path direction. So see what you're drawn to, and you may not be drawn to based on what I've just said. You may be just drawn to it by the color, or you may be drawn to as in 1, 2, or 3. So have a look at those, and I'm going to talk about the astrology for the week like I normally do. So one of the big things this week, everyone, is that we have a new moon in Aries. And with the new moon in Aries, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it's the beginning of the equinox. And the sun's obviously in Aries with the new moon being in Aries, and it's very much an energy of a new beginning. Aries can be an energy of, in its lower vibration, being in the ego self and being very much caught up in one's ego. And there's nothing wrong with having an ego. We all have an ego to survive in the world. We need that. But when the ego takes over the whole self, that's when it can become a problem. And it becomes too aggressive, too much in the masculine energy of conquest, desire, wanting to win at all costs. So we want to come into the energy for this new moon in Aries, into the energy of the higher aspect of Aries, which is alignment of one's true self, one's true identity. Because identity is very much connected to the Aries energy. And it's also about self-assertion and standing up for oneself and drive. So this energy is very strong, and what you can do with this energy is really use it to align yourself with your higher self. So aligning your ego to your higher self and making that work for you in a very positive way, that can be super powerful on this new moon in Aries. And the new moon falls on the 5th of April. So it's this week, towards the latter end of the week. If you know your astrology chart, the new moon falls around 15 degrees of Aries. So have a look at your chart and see what you have around 15 degrees of any fire signs, which would be quite positive for you, or of any signs like the cardinal signs such as Cancer, Capricorn, or Libra. If you have anything with those, it might be a bit more on the tense side for you. But either way, you are letting go. Everyone will be experiencing this in some form or another. Letting go of old ways of thinking that are maybe limiting you, even old connections that are holding you back, old ways of reacting that were maybe more in the lower self energy, or in that sort of energy of fighting with others, or, you know, argument, that type of energy. We're sort of moving away from that. Ideally, you want to be, obviously. Not everyone is, but, you know, with awareness, you can choose to move away from old energies like that and have a fresh start for yourself with this new moon. Other stuff going on this week is that Mars is now in the sign of Gemini. So Mars is the energy related to Aries again, but we have that in the sign of Gemini. So this is a combination of energies of aggression mixed with communication, and aggression mixed with short trips. So it can be a very fast-paced energy, these two together, and it can be people, you know, sort of talking a lot around you, or more communications going on, being busier with the, you know, day to day with interactions with people. With this energy, it can build up to be quite a busy energy, and we can get very distracted under this energy. So just things to be aware of while Mars is in Gemini is the energy of being too distracted in technology, being too distracted in spending too much time on your phone, you know, spending too much time browsing the internet when you shouldn't, when you know you should be doing other things, being sort of lost in the mind too much, and being stuck in mental kind of just too much thinking going on. That Mars with the Gemini can just create an energy or an issue related to overthinking. It can also bring in, as I said, aggression with communication, or negative communication sometimes, like you know, people speaking harsh words, arguments, people being very sort of intense in a verbal sense. There can be sort of provocative exchanges in a verbal sense, and confrontational communications. And then we have this week until Friday, Mercury, the planet of communication, in Pisces, conjunct with Neptune in Pisces. So what that does is it really brings a very intense foggy energy to our communication. So, you know, with Mars in Gemini now, and with this foggy communication this week, with Mercury conjunct with Neptune in Pisces, there can be a lot of confusion with communications this week. And, you know, Mercury is out of retrograde, but there can still be this communication because of this aspect going on. There can be even foggy thinking. There could be sort of not sure in some way, this lack of clarity around, for some people it could be around friendships, it can be around communications, around what I'm doing next with my life. So this week is not sort of the best week to make very strong plans for the future. It's more a time to be in your instinctive nature and take action based on what feels right for you on an instinctive level, on an intuitive level. So that combines the new moon in Aries, which is very instinctive, with this kind of very intuitive energy coming in with Mercury and Neptune in Pisces. So for some people, this can be an increase in psychic ability. It can be good for psychic work, for making note of your dreams and paying attention to your dreams, for spiritual insights, for messages from your guides, and messages from spirit. It can be very good for that this week. So let's have a look at the cards. So if you chose the beautiful soft blue calcite, these are your messages. I'm just going to move these aside while I put these here. Wow. Partnership, creativity, and attraction. Interesting. Okay, so quite lovely cards here. Just make sure they're all on camera. So this card first, the attraction card number 44, it says supermoon attraction, and there's something here about relationships here, because we also have the partnership card, and it could be, this could be related to love matters, though it could be about actually partnering with people who you have a soul connection with, who can help you with some creative project or coming together, because the creativity card is right in the center there. So it tells me that there's something coming in, and you could get the hint of it this week, where there's teamwork involved, where there's some kind of positive energy about combining forces with people who are like-minded souls. Something that you are wanting to work on. I'm getting career connection, or related to career or direction or goals that you may have. So it looks like you're coming together with people that can help you in some way. And if you haven't, you know, been connecting with people recently, it might be sort of suggesting you to be a bit more open to collaboration, connecting with others, rather than being too much keeping yourself to yourself. So there's something powerful here in collaboration, in teamwork, in some kind of support energy. It could even be, if it's not career related for some people, it might be just receiving support from others, or communicating with others that are like-minded, and it feels like a connection of support this week. And even if nothing manifests this week, there could be something down the track with this where it sort of comes more into fruition in the future for some people. But there's a very positive message here about collaboration and teamwork, which I really love. All right, let's go to, this is for those that chose citrine. So we have gratitude, beautiful, nurturing, and hope. Wow, very gentle energies here, very different to the first lot of cards. The gratitude card is interesting because it's the citrine. Citrine does relate to abundance and attracting greater wealth. And what's powerful is when you start to really tune into this feeling of gratitude and feeling like, wow, you know, I really have so much in my life, and no one's life is perfect, and you know, it doesn't matter about perfection. It's more about feeling like you can look around and say, wow, I'm actually super grateful for what I do have. And what you have may be quite humble, but in feeling gratitude for what you have around you and the love and support of people around you, it's actually going to help you to attract even more abundance by nature of feeling and being in that feeling tone of gratitude. I also feel a very soft motherly energy with this. So there may be somebody watching that either needs to communicate with their mother, is missing their mother, possibly someone maybe, you know, has lost their mother. I'm feeling very emotional with this. So some psychic energy is coming through very strong. So if someone out there is watching this and they have lost their mother, there is a spiritual message coming through, of some kind of message from spirit. I don't usually get this in the weekly general messages, but I'm getting it quite strongly. I feel very emotional. If it is to do with your mother, if you're watching and there's either an issue around your mother or your mother is on the other side, there is a message that's coming through from the guides, a very powerful message of compassion. And I'm just going to see what else is coming through. I do feel that someone's mother is deceased, and there is a message coming through from her of a connection, that her energy is around you, something like that. And this energy very strong, like the mother. Look at this, the mother with her cub, you know, it's a double message here. That's really powerful. It says nurturing. So definitely something to do with mothering and motherhood is a very strong theme here. And then the last card says hope. It says stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light. Okay. So someone, if you've chosen this, you may have been experiencing something to do with a dark time, either to do with a mother figure or mothering, being a parent yourself. Other messages I'm getting with this are, and again, it's very strong emotional energy. So if you're watching this and you've been through a hard time in some aspect of your life, the card hope is very strong here. It's saying, you know, hold that feeling of hope that things will improve, because they will. Okay, you might be going through a bit of a dark night of the soul a little bit, or, you know, some kind of struggle where you feel a little bit alone, or like, I'm getting the word memories, so there may be something to do with memories coming up from the past for you. I'm getting a feeling of loss here. It's quite strong. I'm just going to see if there's any other messages for anybody else that has picked this crystal. Let me see. So yeah, I'm getting a strong feeling here of this is a completely different, could be for a different group of people that have also picked this crystal. There's a sense of protection within the family, within the home, okay, that's coming through, and a sense of, you may not know exactly where you're headed next, but having gratitude for where you're at right now is where it's at for you this week, and using that base that you have as a platform to sort of reach higher. And even though you may feel like you've struggled with hope in your life at times, there's a lot of hope that is coming in. There are amazing things coming in. You can't quite see them yet. And just remember to have gratitude for the small things. Okay, so those are the messages for that group. And lastly, if you chose this beautiful blue goldstone, these are your messages. Oh, beautiful peace. I love that. Forgiveness. Friendship. Okay. All right, so interesting. So there seems to be a message here about for some people, some kind of issue that's come up in a friendship or in a soul connection, and the messages are guiding you to, with the first card, to maintain a sense of balance and a sense of peace regardless of what has happened. Do not let it affect you in terms of do not let yourself be stirred to anger or resentment. Do not let it taint you to taint your spirit, because I feel like if you're watching this and you've had trouble with somebody recently, this is saying you're actually a very pure spirit, and you may be an empath, and that could be why people are projecting their unowned issues onto you. It is encouraging forgiveness, so you may not feel ready for that if you've had an issue with somebody. For some people, this could be to do with the past as well, I'm getting. So it's either something that's happened recently or something in the past. Friendship, there's a couple of meanings here. It says seek out your soul family, surround yourself with positive people, spend more time socializing. So again, we have a message here not to isolate yourself this week, to surround yourself with positive people, people that are uplifting, not people that are going to have a lot of negativity or that are going to drag you down. You may have to forgive someone from the past. For some people, I'm getting it is a friendship connection. For other people, I'm getting like a male connection. So it could be like a father figure, a father connection in some way, a husband, a male friend / soul connection. So there's some issues of forgiveness. It could be for some people that if there was an issue with a friendship, you're going to be working on forgiveness, even though you may not feel it right now. But if you can't feel forgiveness, your guides are encouraging you to just feel a sense of peace within your own soul, to know that you are a very pure soul, and you may attract that negativity you know, as just, it's part of your soul lessons and soul tests that you've come here to work through. There are new friendship connections coming in for you as well. And to remember to be very discerning about the type of friendships that you bring into your life. I feel that's part of the message here. Though sometimes, you know, you do have these soul connections that are very testing, and they can be draining, and they can be, you know, past life karmic residual connections, whether it's a friendship or a soulmate. And that, you know, that can be very testing, but it's just karma that we're working through. And your guides are just encouraging you this week to feel a sense of peace. For some people, you know, this is saying to you, you've had a bit of a rough time, and to seek out those positive people to help you feel more of a sense of peace through their nurturing energy, okay, and sort of to move away from the negative energy of those people that may have hurt you. So those are the messages, everyone. If you'd like a private reading with me, just follow the links below. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.